Okay, welcome everyone to the Deep Dive. We're here to, cut through the noise and get straight to the core of things. And today, we're jumping into a really crucial topic, workplace safety. We've got this fascinating summary of a safety training session. It gives us a pretty unique window into what actually goes into building a safer work environment. So this specific training, it was led by Honorable Rahul Sir, who's the EHS Regional Manager, happened back on July 24th, 2025. The location was the A.B. Mauri Pilipit Uttar Pradesh Bakery project site. Our mission really for this deep dive is to unpack the 13 key elements that were covered in that session. Now, the summary we have, it doesn't give every single tiny detail for each point, right? But just seeing the breadth of it, understanding the scope of what good safety training covers today, that's incredibly insightful. It's like getting a roadmap, a framework for how organizations try to prevent accidents and build a positive safety culture. So let's lay out the agenda. These are the 13 elements from the training summary. We'll kind of tackle them in chunks. First up, we have what I guess you'd call the foundational stuff, the bedrock of a safety program. Number 1, safety observation tour, or SOT. 2, incident investigation. And 3, EHS review meeting.
Yeah, and what jumps out immediately with those first 3 is this idea of a continuous loop, a system, the safety observation tour, the SOT. That's basically proactive, right? Walking around specifically looking for potential hazards before anything happens.
Why, for an incident.
Exactly. Then you've got incident investigation. That's the reactive part, but it's critical for learning what went wrong, why. And the EHS review meetings, EHS being environmental, health, and safety, that sounds like where they formally sit down, look at the data, discuss, strategize. It all points towards building this culture of always watching, always improving, not just reacting.
That's a really important point. Proactive versus reactive and making it part of the regular operations. Okay, so it seems like after those foundational elements, the training moved into managing specific tasks and doing core assessments. Let's look at the next group here. Number 4, task-based safety control. 5 is HIRA. And number 6, employee engagement.
Okay, so task-based safety control, that sounds very practical, like breaking down a job step by step, finding the hazards in each step, and then figuring out how to control those specific risks.
Makes sense.
And HIRA, that stands for hazard identification and risk assessment. That's absolutely fundamental. It's the structured way of finding out what could go wrong and how bad it could be. You really can't control a risk if you haven't even identified it properly first.
Right.
And it's really interesting that employee engagement is listed right there alongside these sort of technical processes. It really underscores that safety isn't just rules and procedures handed down. It needs everyone, every single employee to be actively involved and, believe in it.
Yeah, that inclusion of employee engagement, it does feel significant. It shows it's not just top-down, it's a shared thing. Okay, and then the training seems to focus in on some really common high-risk activities, things you see across many industries. So the next few elements were, number 7, work at height. 8, hot work. 9, electrical safety. And 10, material handling.
Right, and these 4 are, they're definitely big ones. You find these risks almost everywhere, not just in, say, heavy industry. Work at height, that's not just skyscraper construction, right? It could be someone on a stepladder in an office or a shop. Falls are a major risk.
Sure.
Hot work, that's your welding, grinding, cutting, anything that makes sparks or heat. Obvious fire hazards there. Electrical safety, well, that speaks for itself, really. The potential for severe injury or fatality from electricity is always there if it's not handled correctly.
Absolutely.
And material handling, that's a huge category. It could be forklifts, cranes, or just, people lifting boxes improperly. Risks like crushing injuries or long-term back problems. The fact these get specific attention in the training shows you just how critical focused procedures are for these sort of universal danger zones.
It really does drive home that point. No matter the job site, these are the kinds of hazards you just have to be watching out for. Okay, and then finally, it looks like the training went into managing some very specific, maybe sometimes hidden, but potentially very dangerous risks. The last 3 elements listed are number 11, hazardous energy control. 12, chemical management. And 13, confined space.
Yeah. These are often the ones that require really specialized training because the dangers aren't always obvious and the consequences of getting it wrong can be catastrophic. Hazardous energy control, you often hear that called lockout to get, or LOTO.
Ah, hey, that's
It's all about making sure machinery is completely de-energized and isolated before anyone does maintenance, prevents it starting up unexpectedly. Critical stuff.
Definitely.
Chemical management, that covers, well, everything from storing chemicals safely, handling them correctly, making sure you understand the safety data sheets, the SDS for every substance. And confined space, think tanks, vaults, pits, any area that's hard to get in and out of and wasn't designed for people to be in continuously. The risks there are serious. Lack of oxygen, toxic fumes, getting trapped. Requires really strict entry permits and procedures. These last three really show the depth you need to go into for complex industrial environments.
So we've kind of walked through these 13 elements now from that safety session at the A.B. Mauri Pilipit Uttar Pradesh Bakery project. And even just hearing the names and our quick chat about what they generally mean, it really paints a picture, doesn't it? It shows a safety approach that's proactive, it's systematic, and it's really comprehensive.
It does.
It feels like it's about much more than just, ticking boxes or avoiding accidents. It seems geared towards building safety right into the culture.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you link it back to what the source said about the outcome, the team committing to make sure to follow all safety guidelines given during the session, that's the crucial step, isn't it? It's not just learning this stuff in a room. It's about actually doing it, translating that knowledge into everyday actions and habits. That's how you turn training information into a real positive safety culture on the ground. And it kind of brings up a question for all of us, I think.
It really does. So thinking about these 13 areas we've touched on, maybe a final thought for you, the listener. What's one specific type of safety awareness? Or maybe a guideline could be something seemingly small that you could focus on applying or just observing more closely in your own daily life, whether that's at your workplace, maybe at home, or even just out and about in public spaces, something to mull over.